Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter number 2 and text number 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kutaha Tva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kutastva Kashmalam Midam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kutaha, where from? Tva, unto you. Kashmalam, dirtiness. Idam, this lamentation. Vishame, in this hour of crisis. Samupasthitam, arrived. Anarya, persons who do not know the value of life. Samupasthitam, arrived. Justam, practiced by. Asvargyam, which does not lead to the higher planets. Akirti, infamy. Karam, the cause of. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to the higher planets but to infamy. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 2nd chapter, 11th verse, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus. Vadanti tatvitats tattvam yadajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of sun, which also has the three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun surface and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is a further advance, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine its universal pervasiveness and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the Absolute Truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to the knowledge of Paramatma feature of the Absolute Truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal feature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Therefore, the Bhaktas or the Transcendentalists who have realized Bhagavan feature of the Absolute Truth are the topmost Transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of the Absolute Truth are engaged in the same subject matter, the sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of three different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority Parashar Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached, but no one can claim that he possesses all the riches, all the strengths, etc. entirely. The only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma or Lord Shiva or Narayan, can possess such opulence as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primal Lord or Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigrahanadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because no one can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primal Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. That is Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 1st verse. In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna is described as original personality of Godhead, from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. Ete jamsakalapunsa krishnastu bhagavanasvayam indriyari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. All the list of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 3rd chapter, 28th verse. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, the source of both the Supersoul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsmen is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word Kutaha, wherefrom? Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realizations. Persons who are led by material conceptions of life do not know that the aim of life is the realization of the Absolute Truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from the bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting for the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one opportunity to become famous in the world. Lord Krishna did not approve of so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsman. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Manastam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Haripri Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamin Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is the first verse that Lord Shri Krishna is uttering in response to Arjuna. Why does Srila Prabhupada give this elaborate understanding of Bhagavan, even though the subject matter that he is asking is completely different?
He wants people to know the greatness of Krishna.
He's establishing the position of the Supreme. I mean, he's showing that Krishna is not an ordinary person talking to Arjuna, but rather is the Supreme Personality of God.
The verse starts Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So that's why people, Prabhupada is giving more liberation on the first.
Prabhupada takes the opportunity to explain the word Bhagavan because nowhere in the entire Bhagavad-Gita it is said Krishna Vacha. Right? It is Sri Bhagavan Vacha and nothing else. So, instead of explaining Sri Bhagavan Vacha in the second time, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, why not to take the opportunity to explain, first of all, who is Bhagavan? Second thing is that Srila Prabhupada is the personalist. And devotionally imbued. So he doesn't take Sri Bhagavan Vacha lesser than any other aspects of the absolute truth, versus impersonal and localized even. Srila Prabhupada is so much intense and wants us to understand the meaning of Bhagavan. Shadaishwarya Purna. He gives Parashar Muni's definition of who is Bhagavan. And Prabhupada wants to entrust the readers right from the beginning without any opportunity for a newcomer to understand Krishna lesser than Bhagavan, personality aspect. How deep his thinking is. Srila Prabhupada is the perfect devotee. whenever anybody talks of, even in Vrindavan, when people will say, Radhe, so what should you respond?
Shamilare.
Eh?
Shamilare.
Na? Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, anybody calls you Jai Shri Krishna, you should say Hare Krishna. There's no difference, but still, how do you understand that Supreme Personality without your own discipline? You know? So, Srila Prabhupada is mastermind. Does not want to leave any stone unturned or leave any doubt about Krishna, whether he is the Atma speaking through that person. Right from the beginning, he is into an unduplicitous opinion about Lord Shri Krishna. So he takes opportunity. As soon as the word Bhagavan appears, he doesn't want to wait for the next time. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada is giving elaborate commentary on the word Bhagavan. And then in one paragraph, he is telling, of course, the emphasis on Krishna speaking is more important, right? And then friendly talk. The first one is a friendly talk. And that also with surprise that Krishna never expected Arjuna to speak like this. Huh? We may analyze this. Say, familiarity breeds contempt. In front of absolute truth, a contemptuous theory or belief or interpretation cannot hold. In front of the absolute truth, such contemptuous means it is impure. Contemptuous means impure. Kashmalam. Malam means dirt. Kashmalam means so dirty. You got this so dirty thought in a completely precarious situation. The war is just about to start. They already blew the conch shells. And you are taking this nonsensical decision. How did it happen? How did it happen? Krishna is in front of him. He is his friend. And he may not be knowing his God. Until 11th chapter, he admits. But nonetheless, they have very intimate relationship. All the characters who have so much intimate relationship with Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, understand that they are not ordinary people. Arjuna is also not an ordinary person because he had intimate relationship. But intimate relationship may give an opportunity to contemptuous idea. Contempt means completely opposite, negative, just to tease, or even though somebody means correct, but still turn over the meaning and this. So, all the religions are understood to be contemptuous religions, except pure devotional service. Anything that devoids of pure devotional service is not befitting a person who is civilized according to the Aryan civilization or according to the Vedic civilization. You can't give an opportunity to interpret even. Therefore, Prabhupada said, this is Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Otherwise, people took liberty and misinterpreted Bhagavad-Gita on Advaita philosophy and whatever their suits, because nobody wanted to surrender to Lord Krishna. You know? So, Srila Prabhupada brought this, the most important principle, the concept of Bhagavan. And there is no open for, interpretation. Oh, you mean Bhagavan, what may mean some Shakti, impersonal. What you call Bhagavan? If you call him Bhagavan, I call him his impersonal. He appeared in the human form, you know, but the Bhagavan is still obscured within him. And you do not know. I am an impersonalist, I do not know. But if I am Mayavadi, I will go to tell, yes, I know it is me. Like that. It will go on and on and on and on and make such a mess in understanding Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Jato mat tato pat. Whatever you think is your way, you are correct. After all the rivulets, are going to mix in one stream, and all the streams will come together into a river, and the river ultimately goes to the ocean, where the water has been sucked up and came in the rivulets first. This is called Bahudevavad, and it is described in Mahabharata. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskrityam keshavam pratigacchati. So you should ask one question. If it is pratigacchati, why not gacchati? Because all the devatas are prati. They are via media. They are reflections. They are not the original. They may be representative, but they are not the original. If you have Bimb in front of you, why do you have to worship Pratibimb? Pratibimb means the reflections. Do you need a mirror if you see yourself in front? Do you need a mirror? You don't need a mirror if you want to see yourself. If you want to see the skin and bones and muscles on your face, then you go in the mirror. But for you as the pure spirit soul, you have to come face to face with the Supreme along with yourself originally. Vidyate hridaya granthi chindyanti sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drashta evatmanishvare. The process of chanting will bring us to self-realization simultaneously with God realization. Because you are the self, you are going to see the super self who is the source of yourself. When both of you come face to face, that's it. This is the result of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada is giving us the most sublime method that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enunciated with perfect understanding according to the modern times and educated people, and appeal them to approach directly by chanting Hare Krishna. And surely will get purified. So those who are reading Bhagavad-Gita, they must understand here Krishna Bhagavan is addressed as Bhagavan. Otherwise they may have written Sri Krishna Bhagavan Vacha. Otherwise avoiding all the way Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam it is starting, right? But that is an approach of the devotees to address the all-pervading aspect of Lord Shri Krishna, who is especially appearing in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam in this Kali Yuga. So, Krishna's majestic potency and ultimately the heart of Lord Shri Krishna's, the loving potencies are described in 10th canto. Gradually one has to rise above how to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada explains this in first canto, 8th chapter, in Queen Kunti's prayers. Namah Kamalanabhaya, Namah Pankajamaline, Namah Kamalanetraya, Namah Pankajangre. Her vision of Lord Shri Krishna's body is beautiful like lotus, but she starts from the navel. Then the garland, and then the eyes, and the face, and then the lotus feet. But we are taught go for the lotus feet first. So, unless and until we are similarly connected in some rasa, in intimate service of like Kunti Devi, So the idea is that Arjuna is connected as friend, but Krishna made him disconnected as far as his identity is concerned. Right? It's Krishna who is arranging anyway, but now he is getting the opportunity because Arjuna did not allow Krishna to speak anything in the first chapter. So Arjuna got frustrated by his own questions, and he ended up, sobbing. He gave up the bow and sat morosely, and so such a situation was not befitting to so much intimately related to Lord Shri Krishna. He was fearing. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and anybody who realizes him loses the fear. He becomes fearless, which Arjuna became later, because he knew now. So, in between the whole process, we are given opportunity to know Krishna. So we may become fearless also. And we become devoted, like Arjuna devoted himself. So, explanations of the Shastric Srimad Bhagavatam version of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Brahma Samhita, these are the two most important version about Lord Sri Krishna. But Krishna is also telling the same truth. So later on, Arjuna is keeping this in mind. Oh, everybody is talking about Lord Krishna as that he is the Supreme Person, and he himself is also talking. So there is no controversy. So, sarvam etadritam manye yanaman vadasi keshava. My dear Krishna, now I accept you. Whatever you have spoken, I accept as the absolute truth. Ritam manye. The word ritam is meaning factual. The absolute truth must be ritam. Absolute truth is not an abstract truth. Ritam means factual, not hypothetical. In Srimad Bhagavatam, all the three aspects of this absolute truth, the impersonal aspect, localized aspect, and Supreme Personality of Godhead aspect, all they are factual. Factual means existing. They are there. We may not know because we have been ill-trained in so many other mixed aspects and not the absolute aspect, just like Srila Prabhupada has been convincing us. So this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada, is not fanatically writing about. This is not important. Why he is writing like that? Some may comment like that. But now it is very important, because first word is Bhagavan. And it should be understood first. Then every other situation can be linked with him. That this is not an ordinary situation. Krishna must have made Arjuna like it. So, for the absolute, na chatasya karanam karanam cha vidyate. There is no cause, all right, and no actions. Nothing is compulsory for him. And for this reason alone, there is nobody a duplicate entity. Only he, that there is no cause for him, that why he is here. He is causeless. But he becomes the cause of everything that exists. Krishna is the cause of all causes. So, na chatasya karanam karanam cha vidyate, na chata samasam abhi adhikacha drashyate. There is nobody equal to or greater than him. For this reason alone, asamordva, asama, nobody is equal, and urdhva means superior, is the supreme. Supreme can only be one, cannot be two. You can't put Supreme 1 and Supreme 2. No, it doesn't make any sense. The Supreme means as the superlative degree in English grammar. Superlative. So, he doesn't have any cause to do anything. But Parasya Shaktir Vividhiya Sruyate. The Supreme's energies are so variegated. They know the nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth, independent nature. Therefore, the Shaktis are also independent in nature and they act according to the desire of Lord Krishna automatically, without Krishna has to tell, hey, my dear energy, you go and work like this. No. Parasya Shaktir Vividhiya Suruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. So these are the reasons that Krishna has to be put on the topmost. The word Krishna comes in Mahabharata so many times, but only in Bhagavad-Gita it is described Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, no lesser than anybody. Arjuna Vacha, Sanjaya Vacha, Dhritarashtra Vacha, and Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Anybody else is speaking? No. So, after establishing the absolute truth, who is the Supreme Personality of Lord Godhead Sri Krishna himself, Srila Prabhupada is touching to the subject matter of Arjuna. It means the subject matter of Arjuna is insignificant. It doesn't have any significance. Rather, it required chastisement. Rather, it required chastisement. So, to prelude to the chastisement, Krishna is asking question. This thing should never happen to a civilized person like you. How come it happened to you? Now, if somebody challenges your sentiment, you will try to protect the sentiments. So, he will blurt out more ignorant and laughable situation. Then Krishna will start smiling because he is exposing his weaknesses and then straighten him out. So this is a very artful dealing of devotees who are in the field of preaching, that how to convince a person, how to uplift from the platform of ignorance to the platform of realization. So, in this practical aspect, Krishna is asking that what you are showing is not befitting for a civilized or a progressive man. Progressive means where progressing? Materially progressing? No. Aryan means those who know the goal of life. It's not material progress, but go back home, back to Godhead, or get liberated, or go to Swargaloka if you can't do. But get out from here. Right? So, this is important. So, Krishna is exposing him that you are coming from a great famous family and you are acting infamously. So not only you will become criticized, but the whole dynasty will be at jeopardy. Who is going to be benefited by this action? Not you. And what to speak of the akirtim? Akirtim means defame. Not famous. It will defame you. And for those who have defamed, the pain of defame is more than death. So Srila Prabhupada says, Kirti yasya sajivati. One who has accumulated the credit that will glorify him. That glorification is keeping him alive. Keeping him alive. Even the body is not there, but he will be respected, keeping him alive. Kirti yasya sajivati. So, the things which are akirtikaram, justam, anaharyam, it's totally unacceptable for an advanced person, a civilized person. Today in Kali Yuga, who cares? All these characters, they think now you can abuse or use the abusing words in politics. It becomes glorious. They think so. And one who gives them opportunity to speak such things, they prove them that they are an Arya. And the Arya also do not have a break, but rather inciting them to speak, they are also at the fault. Suppose in our devotional service we are very watchful of not offending anybody. But suppose if we become an instrument to make somebody else also offensive, that is also punishable. Or if you hear the offense and do nothing, that is also punishable. So how much sensitivity in our character has to be applied? If two are fighting and you are watching, then you are also implicated. Better get out from here. Otherwise, stop both the parties fighting. Preach hard, so they end up in doing obeisances to each other. Otherwise, you lay your life. Never allow it to happen. Don't become a witness even. So in this way we see that this verse is so much important, gives so much significance of the absolute truth, personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, who is termed here as Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Srila Prabhupada ki. Anybody has any question? Yes?
If Arjuna is Mahabhagavan, knowing self-realized, then why is he in doubt? Why is he saying, hey, I don't know what to do? I thought he was already self-realized. If it was pure devotee, why is he why is he doing this dilemma?
Because he was very friendly. They are of the same age. How come Krishna did not teach Bhagavad-Gita to Yudhishthira?
To Yudhishthira?
Because he was the best one. advertently they were all following Yudhishthira, all the Pandavas. But everybody has a character. Arjun was selected. Bhima was not selected. He was too passionate. Just like thick body, thick brain is there. Sensitivity is less. But anyway, they are all coming from divine descent. But Yudhishthira especially was a son of Dharmaraj, who knows the Dharma. And our presence in executing the religious principle, that should be also like an instrument. And Yudhishthira knew that best. Arjun did not know, even though he was son of Indra, but he had passion like Indra. But he was friend of Krishna by the age. Why would Krishna bow down to Yudhishthira and hug Arjun? That is the etiquette. But etiquette is according to the Vaishnava etiquette or the civilized etiquette. So, Arjun was taking for granted, without understanding the Supreme Personality aspect of Lord Shri Krishna. Right? So he became the recipient of the knowledge. If you do not know, then you approach a bona fide spiritual master who is the representative of Lord Krishna and you will get the same thing. So Arjun approached Lord Shri Krishna because by chastisement his eyes are opening. These are the first two slokas of chastisement. Declaring Arjun something he never heard himself to be in. An intimate friend can be an Arya. An Arya means, hey Arjun, you are uncivilized guy. Get out from here. What are you talking? Like that, you know. And who is going to be benefited from your actions that you have set down before me like this? And don't you know, surrounding it is highly surcharged, ready to strike. This activity were not according to Lord Krishna's plan. So ignorance can cause so many things. We do not know what is Krishna's plan. Why? Because we don't accept him as a supreme. Somehow or another, Krishna, I heard you, yes, I'll try to do best I can. But we fail. And then we come back. Sorry, Krishna, I missed the opportunity. Give me once more. But Krishna is going ahead. We can't catch him like that. Let's be simple and try to execute the order of spiritual master. That's the best way to please Lord Krishna. So, Arjun was a very, very qualified recipient because he was a very qualified ignorant person. Yes.
Krishna says to Arjuna, you and me have taken many births. I I remember, but you do not remember. So all the time Krishna is, Arjuna is intimate friend of Krishna.
Yeah, but Arjun did not remember. He had a doubt immediately. Right? Krishna is telling truth. And how do you apply in your life this truth? Suppose if you don't remember Krishna at the time of death, will that be your fault? No, it is the habit of every living entity, and Krishna knows it. But you are trying to remember Him. Whether you will know or remember Him or not, that remains a question. But then, do you have to get disappointments? Prabhupada said, Krishna never forgets the services you render. He always remembers. Whether you don't remember, it doesn't matter. So, Krishna is very merciful because He remembers. Suppose if He forgets, just like some people are claiming in Gondal, in Gujarat. I have a Bhagavad-Gita that declares the 48 verses which were missing. There are altogether 748. So they found out and they discuss. And everybody is thinking, wow, what a great finding. You know, the very first says, Krishna is asking Arjun, Arjun, have you understood all that I have said? If you want to ask me, please ask me now, again. Because if you ask afterwards, I would have forgotten. Yeah, these are the verses. Of course, sane people do not accept it. But these are insane findings. They are trying to put in the mouth of Lord Krishna something which is completely contradictory than the entire Bhagavad-Gita.
Thank you so much, wonderful class. You made a statement that familiarity beats contempt. Familiarity beats contempt. It's a wonderful statement. Arjuna here basically is, he doesn't know the position of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what in the beginning we are saying. In 4.3, Krishna says, Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti, that you are my devotee and my friend and devotee also.
That's later.
Yes, in 4.3 he says so, but till that time, whatever knowledge he has given, but he says, you are my devotee. So as a devotee, he must know the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
That when he accepts his authority, you know, and Krishna improvises and acknowledges his understanding.
So, devotee, he was not devotee till that time.
Well, once he became surrendered, then the truth was started unfolding. And he surrenders very shortly. It will take 2-3 days more to surrender.
Yeah, Govind the Bus is giving that class.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
You said that anybody giving you Radhe Radhe, you have to say Hare Krishna.
Yes.
And anybody chanting anything different also, you have to say Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So we see many people, they are doing different things, but when I say Hare Krishna,
But they do not have a confirmed understanding. People want to simply take up, what they call, it is casual, normal. Everybody says Radhe Radhe in Vrindavan, why not me? But everybody doesn't have that discipline. And you have, so why should you? right? It depends upon the sincerity. Of course, there is no harm, but we have stumbling block of our understanding in the absolute truth. Otherwise, we will worship only Radharani and no Krishna. We will become another Prema Mandir. Yeah? Okay. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.